What's going on, guys? It's Justin here, and what happens when you take our Project Jeep Wrangler and mash it up with our Wayfinder Tacoma project? You get the Jeep Gladiator. Part capable off-road SUV and part mid-sized pickup truck. Okay, so it's not an exact mashup, but you do get the best of two worlds. A fun trail tackling 4x4 packaged as a utilitarian pickup. Before we talk about our latest plans for this project, be sure to like and subscribe to that Summit Racing YouTube channel and punch that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Introduced in late 2018 for the 2020 model year, the Jeep Gladiator takes its interior and exterior styling cues from the Wrangler JL. For paved roads, it's a little rougher around the edges than a mid-sized pickup truck. The four-wheel drive and suspension systems is what makes this thing perfect for off-road. We're going to be making it even more perfect-er by adding some upgrades we wanted for our Wrangler project, but we never quite got to. We're talking about beefier axles from Curry, some 37-inch tires, and an AccuAir airbag suspension system. That's right, we're going with AccuAir suspension, their Jeep dynamic lift kit system. We know airbags aren't exactly a popular choice for off-roading applications, but hear us out. We're looking for off-road capability, and this system will give us up to 5.5 inches for those larger tires. Plus, an underbody mounted air tank will allow us to have regulated onboard air for inflating tires or using air tools whenever we need them. We're wanting to do some overlanding adventures as well, and this system will allow us to level our Jeep for those overnight stops. Plus, the auto level function is perfect for towing. Finally, we wanted to do something attention grabbing for the variety of shows we'll be attending. And with this system, we'll be able to drop or raise the Gladiator with just the flip of a switch. You won't see many other Jeeps doing that. We're excited to get started, so we're gonna dig into the suspension right now. First, let's get the suspension in here and see what's inside the box. So we've made quick work of ripping out our factory suspension components, and we've gone ahead and laid everything out for our AccuAir kit. You'll notice this kit comes with air springs, JRI custom tuned shocks, a Viair compressor, air tank, a Viair inflation kit, lower control arms, rear, upper, and lower control arms, an adjustable front track bar, rear and front sway bar end links, an eConnect Plus kit, and a touchpad kit for our control system. You can imagine this installation is a little involved, so we're gonna go ahead and get right to work on getting the suspension kit installed. So we got our Gladiator in the air and we got the wheels off it, and we're gonna be going about this install a little different than you typically install one of these air ride systems. So because we're gonna be changing our axles, we're gonna actually be yanking all our outers off, and our Curry axles are gonna utilize our Jeep knuckles and bearings and everything, brakes as well. So we're gonna rip that stuff off and then rip the axles out of it and then hang some of the suspension. Once we get the axles in, we'll connect everything, get the bags plumbed, and this thing will be having a lot of fun. So let's get to it and get some of this stuff ripped off. So our install is going rather well. We've gone ahead and mounted this bracket and got all the air lines ran as well. Now, we went ahead and labeled these 1, 2, 3, 4, so we wouldn't get them confused in hooking them up. That's a really good idea for you guys as well. Just go ahead, take a paint marker and label these. It just takes a couple seconds and it'll make quick work and not allow you to get messed up. So with the lines ran, we're just gonna move on to the next step and hopefully get some bags hung under this thing. So because we have a Rubicon, we had to go ahead and remove the factory rock slide that was right here. And that's what this thing looks like. The reason we're removing it is because this is where our compressor is going to mount. So with that rock slide removed, we're gonna go ahead and slide our compressor into place, and we have to route this airline up over the frame rail. And they did a really good job of putting these kind of eyelets on the back so we can start the bolts and then slide this thing over. It's gonna make it a lot easier. Feed our airline up over, and then this just slides into place. That's really convenient. So we got our air tank in, and man, they do a really great job of mounting this. It goes right into place. It's mounted right here into the Jeep, so it's out of the way, and it's got its own skid plate, so it's always going to be protected. So let's get some more bolts thrown in this thing, and yeah, this installation is coming along nicely. We're going to run you guys through some of the wiring and the components of our AccuAir system for our Gladiator, starting with our Viair air compressor that's mounted up here under the bed. Now this is a Viair 485C compressor and will feed our air system without any issues. One of the next items in this system are the level switches, and there's one of these for each bag. Now, they came with their own brackets, which made them a breeze to install, and one of my favorite things about the AccuAir system was how well they labeled everything. From the control arms, each control arm has its own sticker to dictate where it is, and then with the wiring harness for a lot of the sensors, you can see here it says sensor 4, so there's no problem knowing where these need to plug in and getting all the wiring routed. Now let's move under the Jeep and look at the air tank and some of the other components. So moving forward, we went ahead and installed this grommet here in the body, which was included in our kit, and that's where all our wiring and even a couple air lines run inside to the back seat to the control unit of the whole AccuAir system, which we'll show you guys in a minute. Now, don't mind this kind of rat's nest of wiring. I haven't tidied all this stuff up yet, as I'm still in the middle of the install. Now, beside that, we have this nice 5-gallon spun aluminum air tank with its own skid plate, and then the airbag controls back here as well. So let's get the Jeep down and look inside so we can show you guys the brains of the operation. So moving inside the cab, you can see the rubber grommet we showed you guys on the bottom, and this is where all our wiring runs into the cab. Now all this stuff runs over to here to the ECU, and this is the control system of the AccuAir. Now one of the cool things about this is they keep this out of the weather, and they gave you a cool bracket to mount it under the seat so you don't have to worry about it being in the way. Another fun feature is they even run an airline inside the vehicle that goes to this nice regulator, so you can fill up tires, use air tools, whatever you need, you have air at your fingertips. And another thing to touch on is the high quality airline that AccuAir includes. This stuff is super flexible and nice, and I would love to use this on all our projects. Now, moving to the front of the vehicle, let's show you where this is hooked up to the battery. So we've made our way under the hood, and you can see our big power cord for our compressor and ECU, along with a good inline fuse. You can't beat that because safety is first. Now we'll hook this directly up to the battery. And one of the other things we did is we ran this 12-volt ignition wire up here so we can turn this thing on and off so it's not constantly having power to it, giving us a parasitic draw on our battery. Now the way we got power is we went ahead and installed a fuse tap here in the accessory circuit and ran a wire all the way back to the ECU. So that's the gist of the wiring and setup for the AccuAir system. We're so close to getting this thing operational. Once we get our axles underneath this thing and get everything tidied up, this system is truly going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see what it does. So that's it for this episode, guys. In the next one, we're going to get the axles under the Jeep with help from our friend Casey Curry at Curry Enterprises. Then we're going to be getting some wheels and tires mounted and a couple other goodies as well, and waking up this sleepy Penn Star with some good old Go Fast parts. So until next time, I'm Justin with Summit Racing, and the golden question is, what are you working on?